They said it was impossible, but Mexico will pay. Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Obvious, bringing you the obvious. And today, our Lord and Savior, our Emperor, our ultimate freedom man, Donald J. Trump, has done the impossible. They said he couldn't do it. They said there was no way that he was going to force Mexico to play ball and actually protect the border. They said Mexico would never pay. Well, they were wrong. I am pleased to inform you that the United States of America has reached a signed agreement with Mexico. The tariffs scheduled to be implemented by the U.S. on Monday against Mexico are hereby indefinitely suspended. Mexico, in turn, has agreed to take strong measures to stem the tide of migration through Mexico and to our southern border. You got Mexico to finally take responsibility and deploy their own troops, spend their own money to protect our border. Both of our borders, technically. The mad lad actually did it. This is being done to greatly reduce or eliminate illegal immigration coming from Mexico and into the United States. Details of the agreement will be released shortly by the State Department. Thank you. Oh, man. I can't tell you how many shills, how many leftists. Trump won't get Mexico to pay. I thought Trump was going to pay for the wall. You know, they always have the same talking points, but the common pattern is they're all anti-Trump. Like, if you want to spot a shill, just look at the language they use. So I posted this meme the other day. The 15 shill topics. Orange man bad. Why do you vote against your economic self-interest? Trump hasn't accomplished anything. Trump has lost his base. You should engage in infighting. The white population percentage is getting lower. No wall. And so on and so forth. So shills use the same variety of tactics. You can usually tell because all of it's the same schema, it's the same format. So let's see how people are reacting to Trump's victory and America's victory, knowing that now we'll be just a little bit safer on our borders. Now, all these Democrats that are saying we don't need a border and blah, 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 and just let all the just let everyone come in. They're all traitors, and I think they should be deported themselves. Ronnie Rails says, "Thank you, Mr. President. You are doing exactly what you said you would do. This is why I voted for you, a man of his word." Most documented liar in White House history. What a man of his word, LOL. So even when they're given direct evidence that they're wrong, they just have to say, "Orange man bad," like the good little NPCs they really are. George Valdovino says, "Can't we just look at Europe and see all of the disasters that have happened in many of these countries because of their open border policies? Look at what's happened in France, for example. We should be happy that we have a president with the gumption to say," and I couldn't find the other half of that, so let's see. Sarah Shaw says, "I bet the Native Americans regret their immigration policy too." Thank you, Sarah. You're literally proving the point. George Valvidos replies, "And that's what we are trying to prevent from happening to us." Fred Gutenberg, verified checkmark, says, "Dear America, the fake crisis has ended. While nothing has actually changed, the press is prepared to be done with this. The fight over the wall is over. According to the press, it is no longer needed." Imagine being so stupid and so delusional. You know, the mental gymnastics are enough to win gold. And Mr. Gutenberg here is an absolute moron. The wall is still needed. We need as much protection as we can get. Not just troops, but also a wall. Let it be done. Let me ask you this, Fred. Would you lock your doors? Do you lock your doors at night? Do you lock your car? Because if you do, you're a bigot. You're not inclusive. You need to leave your doors unlocked and leave your cars unlocked. Open borders, my friend. Open your borders. Of course, they would never actually do that because they're absolute hypocrites. Dean Obitala, verified checkmark, says, "As I predicted yesterday, given the horrible jobs report Friday, we could expect Trump to cave on tariffs with Mexico," and he did just that. No, he didn't. See, he's literally a liar. That's what the media is. Mexico caved. Mexico decided, okay, fine, please remove the tariffs and we'll send troops. We'll spend our own money. We will pay and help police the border. He's an absolute moron. They talk about Russian bots, but is this not the most NPC bot thing you've ever seen? Guess you must be tuckered out. Huge day of tweeting. Pays to have tiny hands when you tweet. Lots of great accomplished on Twitter. but not in a real world. You delusional, treasonous, pathological liar, effing moron, conman, rancid, flib, blah, 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 you corrupt, blah, blah, blah. Literally a child crying out into the darkness. Literally a little kid who can only throw words and say, Orange Man, bad. Frank D'Angelo, I wonder what skeletons you have in your closet. P. Higgins says, I love how angry people get, no matter if he does something good or bad. Yeah, they're all traitors, you know? They're absolutely traitors. They do this because they want to be famous. Dean Obadilala says, just like Trump's amazing deal with North Korea, LOL. Oh, you're so smart. Woo! Woo! Sick burn, bro. Rick Collins replies, incredible diplomacy, a stable genius at work. And make no mistake, Trump is a genius. Okay, he's a billionaire. He came back from bankruptcy multiple times. Only a few of his businesses failed, and he started tons. The man is incredibly successful, and you'd have to be an absolute brainlet to think otherwise. Christine Kramer, your local boomer, says, just ridiculous. He was going to screw up our economy. Oh no, we put a tariff on Mexico. Now we can't have avocados and tequila. Nobody cares, boomer. Go to the retirement home already. It went ahead with those tariffs. He's a danger to our country, and Trump is only concerned about Trump, unlike real patriots. Is that why he fought for our borders? Do you even think about the things you're saying? Enrique Gray says, the art of the deal can't be mad at the results. Good job, POTUS. Literally, read his book. I recommend it. The Art of the Deal is a good book, and he talks about his, the way he talks about it makes it sound so easy, but it's not. He's really good at the bartering, at the psychological manipulation about deal making. He's really good at it. And I learned things from that book. So I think it would be fun to take a little look at Hacker 4chan and kind of examine some of the shills. The mad lad did it. Here, an obvious shill says, he did nothing. This story is so terrible. It was unclear whether Mr. Trump believed that the agreement truly represented new and broader concessions, or whether the president understood the limits of the deal, but accepted it as a face-saving way to escape from political and economic consequences of imposing tariffs on Mexico. Nobody needs Mexico. That's some funny stuff. Seriously, nobody cares if we tariff Mexico. Like, what are we going to lose? A few imports? Who cares? We're America. We can import from anywhere else. Having threatened Mexico with an escalating series of tariffs, starting at 5% and growing to 25%, the president faced enormous criticism from global leaders, business, executive, Republicans, Democratic lawmakers, and members of his own staff that he risked disrupting a critical marketplace. Critical. What a joke. Nobody needs Mexico. Nobody cares. We would have been fine. Mexico deserves to be punished. And they caved. He won. He won. Do you understand the level of framing and delusion here? After 9 days of uncertainty, Mr. Trump backed down and accepted Mexico's promises. Yeah, wasn't that the whole point? Literally. The whole point was to get them to do something, and he did. So he released the tariff. Art of the deal, baby. Let's read some replies. Do you actually believe what you posted is a valid report of events? Or do you accept it as political fanfiction? America doesn't give an F about paying more avocados. Food is cheap and plentiful. Escape the political and economical consequences of imposing tariffs on Mexico. These people are effing delusional. Ha 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 ha. The cope in that shit. What level of cope is this? Even if the deal means nothing, it still completely embarrasses Mexico, as they have practically accepted responsibility for illegal immigration. Yeah, and that's what this is about. I don't know why Trump-tards think this is some sort of win. Literally nothing will change. The border will still be wide open and no one will do a thing about it. Not Mexico, not the USA. No one. So, you can always tell who the shills are, and this is what I mean. They'll use the words of the left, or they'll try to blend in and, repeat the same means. How do you do, fellow kids? And now, Mexico knows that if they don't play ball again, he's just going to tariff them. What are they going to do? Nothing. They can't stop the United States. Every effing news outlet in the country besides Fox. So yeah, this guy's an absolute shill. You can tell. They keep posting, all these biased news sources that lie. Either that or they're trolling. That happens a lot, too. Probably Media Matters. They literally have poll influence teams. Let's take a look at this because I really want people to see it. Poll influence teams. We're tearing them apart. Don't stop now. Keep with the Trump as a neocon Jewish person angle. Say he betrayed your trust by going against Assad/Putin. Also, make the Hillary comparison. Use Kushner angle. If someone accuses you of a shill, accuse them of being a new poll redditor from the Donald. Enforce the view that Trump wants war. So, this is old, and shilling has, it's been updated, but this is what they do. They're literally paid to lie on poll, and some people do it for free. Hacker 4chan, though, sees right through them. Annan says this is good negotiation. 1. Announce harsh tariffs. 2. Get Mexico to do a bunch of shit they didn't want to. 3. Resend tariffs. Trump literally gave up nothing and got Mexicans to do what he wanted. The guy had all the leverage and used it. That's real leadership, okay? Obama, he was a huge disappointment. He was a failure at nearly everything. No one wanted to work with him because he always made demands. You better do this or else you'll regret it. I'm America. Trump's not like that. He puts real consequences on the table. You do this or else. And he did it. And he won. That's a real man right there. That's testosterone. If the Mexicans fail to uphold their end, he can just tariff them again without any grace period. Exactly like I said. Oh no, my avocados and Corona will go up 5 cents. People were actually pretending this was a big deal. It certainly could have been a big deal. I'm sorry you're too economically illiterate to understand tariffs. Again, we don't need Mexico. Mexico needs us more than we need them. In almost every case. Okay, so this Annan makes a good point since the shills want to talk about economics. In which case, the tariffs are back on. Trump had talked about it before, but shown Mexico he was serious about making good on his tariff threats by actually setting a schedule and instructing his State Department to implement them. Hopefully this will light a fire up under Mexico, but if not, Trump can move forward as previously planned. They will be sweating bullets if they start feeling the crunch of 5 to 10% tariffs, and U.S. auto companies and other manufacturers start moving production out of Mexico and back to the U.S. to avoid tariffs. Hell, I say he should tariff them anyway, just so we can get our corporations back in America. And here we have a shill post trying to claim that Trump is bad, blah, 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 a bunch of archives. They try so hard. They really do. And I have no doubt that all of their sources are just left-wing, biased rags. Let's click on one. Let me test my theory here. I literally have no idea what this site is. Let's see if there's something recognizable. Wikipedia. So you can clearly see this is some high-tier research. Here Annan says, the deal. We don't impose tariffs. Mexico won't allow immigrants to pass through anymore. No more illegals released into the U.S. 6,000 Mexican troops on their southern border. Mexico agrees to buy large amounts of U.S. agricultural products, taking up slack lost due to the trade war with Russia. Trump BTFO? So the shill's constantly lying. The Democrats are constantly lying about all of his accomplishments, all of the things he's actually done. I always have to deal with this, like people who believe, oh, Trump didn't do that much, blah, blah, blah. Just because he couldn't do everything, it means he's done nothing. No, don't be a brainlet, okay? Artificially raise your IQ by, paying attention. Basically, this is the average shill. I don't agree with everything he does. I have my criticisms. Don't get me wrong. But I'd vote for him again. He's been a good president. Okay, so here Annan points out the obvious. You do realize that 90% of the former Trump supporters on here are shills trying to demoralize his supporters, right? Nobody without an agenda actually thinks that not voting or voting for a Democratic candidate will do any good for the conservative movement. And yeah, the shilling is so obvious. It's so damn obvious. But you know what? It's a sad day we live in when half of your country wants to destroy your country. These people they're a threat, not only to us, but to themselves. But you know what? I see this as an absolute win. Mexico will pay. Trump won. That's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks, and probably all for today. So many news stories, but I'm kind of tired now. That aside, what do you think about this story? Are you happy that Trump got Mexico to cave? Can you believe that the media is freaking... They're saying, oh, no, he didn't do nothing. He's blah, blah, blah. They're lying. They're fake news. Be sure to let me know. If you want to support the work that I do, you can support me by joining me on Patreon, Subscribestar, or donating via PayPal. Patreon and Subscribestar will both give you access to Fight Club, just a little bonus. Or you can share the video. One of the best ways, one of the best things you could do is post it on social media. Share it with your friends. Show one person. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.